Hello, this is the second lecture of operations management. This is mainly about operation strategy. In the first slide, we have competitive priorities, which we can also known as performance objectives. When we are competing in a different market, there are some priorities that we need to specify when we are going to compete with our competitors. First one is price, the cost. How are we going to attract our customers by competing with our competitors? Are we going to reduce our cost compared to our competitors, or are we going to increase our cost and make the customers think like that the high cost will means that this has the best quality? And that's a separate lesson. How are we going to cost and how are we going to price with respect to our competitors? And then the quality, high performance design, conformance to specs, and we can also make low quality designs for if we are targeting a low income market. So we need to decide on what the price is, what the quality is, and how the delivery speed, dependability. We need to deliver faster than our competitors if we are going to get a competitive advantage than our competitors, and the flexibility. Our volume, our mix, can we change our volume as according to the differentiations in the demand? If something happens to our competitor, then something bad happened to our competitor, then our demand will increase. Then can we act flexibly according to the changes in demand? And new product intro. When our current product is outdating, how fast we can introduce a new product, and also the service, user friendliness, aftercare service, such things makes us stand out from our competitors. And then relative importance of performance objectives. Performance objectives are these five objectives. And what are the importance of these objectives? The relative importance of each performance objective. What is the relative importance of the performance objectives for the operations? Is what we are considering in here. How these will impact our customers when we are increasing our quality, increasing our service, how the customers will react, and the influence on organization competitors. When we are changing these objectives, performance objectives, our competitors are not going to stand there idle and doing nothing. So they are also trying to compete with us by increasing quality, adjusting prices according to our prices, and increasing delivery speed and such thing. So what will be the influence of the our competitors, and the stage of the organization's product and services in their life cycle? There's a life cycle of product for the product. We can see that in the next slide. According to the stage of the product in this life cycle, that also influence for the performance objectives to the operations. Here you can see the life cycle of products or services. For this, we can take an example as launching of an iPhone, let's say iPhone 13. At the introduction, at the introduction means the time is 0. If we are launching the iPhone 13 today, the demand would be demand is relatively low, but the demand is increasing. It's rapidly increasing. We are increasing the 13 today, then the demand will gradually increase, and then this is the growth phase. When the time is passing, more people are buying. I'm not talking about Sri Lanka. If you are taking a country like Japan, they are a type of people that when there's a new launch in Apple product, everyone tends to buy that product. Most of the people, most of the population. So when the iPhone 13 is introduced, the demand for the product is increasing gradually. And then the growth stage, and then the maturity stage. Now, in Japan, most of the population is having like iPhone 13. And with the time, when the time passes, there's there's this information about iPhone 14 coming out. Then gradually the demand is decreasing for the 13 product because now it's like 1 or 2 years has passed and maybe less than that according to the product launch. And it differs according to the product with the time. For phones, it can be a small time, but for some other products, like you can say maybe I don't know. That depends on the maybe you can say a musical instrument, a piano. Maybe the time period is the life cycle can be larger than a phone's life cycle. And when it hits the maturity stage, that's the best period. And then it declines when the time passes and a new product is arriving. So what is this operations strategy? I'll read this out, but let's get back to this after completing this, after going through some more slides, then you'll understand this thing better. The decisions which shape the long-term capabilities of the company's operations. As a company, there are different objectives, missions and mission, cooperation strategy. So operation strategies are the decisions which shapes the long term. We are always looking at the long term capabilities of the company's operations and their contribution to overall strategy through the ongoing reconciliation. Operations means ongoing reconciliation of market requirements and operation resources. We'll get back to this. This is the main idea of operation strategy. In this diagram, when we are making or introducing a product or service, there's a product or service plan, we need to consider about the consumer needs and also competitors' actions, and then the business strategy. In further of the slides, we'll get into more what this business strategy is. And all together with these three, we are going to make the product or service plans. And when we came up with the product, then we are going to give the priority for the competitive priorities. As in the first slide, there were cost, quality, service, and such things. We are going to consider how are we going to compete in this market. And after the competitive priorities, then we are going to the operation strategy. That's what the operation strategy is, this thing. That is more elaborated in the coming slides. And how are we going to making this day-to-day operation, and how are we going to strategize these operations in order to come up with a good product or service plan? There are two things as order qualifiers and order winners. What are order qualifiers? They are the basic criteria that permit the firm's products to be considered as candidates for purchase by customers. That's like the minimum requirement a product need to qualify to be in the market. For example, if we take the automobile industry, if I start a car business now, it doesn't qualify as a car to be sold in the market because there are good brands already in the market, Toyota, Audi, BMW, and Honda. There are different types of big brands already in their market. They doesn't have to be big. There can be some, even the Bajaj Motors, Bajaj, Tata, tractors, anything. But if I start a business today, it won't be qualified as an order qualifier because I don't have the basic criteria that permit my firm products to be considered as candidates for purchase by customers. A customer will not come to my business today and buy a car from me. That's what is meant by order qualifiers, the basic criteria to be in the market. And what are order winners? There can be different kinds of car brands. I'm not much into cars, but I'm sure that there are many types of car brands in the market. And to be an order winner, the car brand need to differentiate the products and services of one firm from another. For example, BMW, Audi, Ferrari, Audi, those brand, Toyota, Honda, they have something special in their, it can be about the cost, it can be about the quality especially, and the comfortness, service, and there are different criteria that they can become specialized. There's some small video about that Audi made about with their order winners. Let's watch that, then you can get a small idea. So that was a small video done by Audi. So there was the caption for this. There was a comment in this section that they were mocking and praising their competitors at the same time, because these are some of the biggest competitors of them. It's BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and these are also some good brands. I don't have much idea about cars. So BMW is good for sportsness, and then Benz is good for something else, and this type is for safety and such that comfort. Benz is good for comfort. So they are the order winners from each specific side. So the idea of Audi trying to give from this advertisement is that it is an order winner from all those criteria, all those performance types. Yes. So I hope that you all can get an idea about what the order winners are and what the order qualifiers are. Here in world-class manufacturers no longer view cost, quality, speed of delivery, and even flexibility as trade-offs. They have become order qualifiers. As in the example that I showed you, they don't now struggle to become order qualifiers. If only it's a new company that is trying to come into the industry, they are trying to become the order qualifiers. Now the target that those big brands are, the world-class manufacturers have to become the order winners. What are the order winners in today's market? All the brands I showed you in that video, all are order winners. But still, they are competing against them to become the winner from all the criteria. It's hard to become order winner from all the criteria, from cost, from comfortable, from service. But that's what they're trying to do. That's what Audi. That's what the message out trying to give by Audi, that they are order winner from every aspect. That's just advertisement. And then the service breakthroughs. Service can be an order winner. As in the first slide I showed you, service is a performance criteria, and that can be an order winner. Good service will attract more customers, and then that can be order winner. And these are also some service criteria that is relevant to service. And in order to become order winner, good warranty, leasing, exchange or upgrade, loan a vehicle, some service, some service that you can offer more than your competitor will make you an order winner. Here we are. This is a small table that how this differs from order qualifier and order winner. For example, fast food, or for qualify as the order qualifier, it need to be available, right type of food and low cost. But to be order winner, they need to focus more on speed of the service, perceived value for money, cleanliness. That the audit qualifier and order winner depends from industry to industry. So these are not a fixed set of points that you need to remember that, because that it depends on from industry. And EasyJet is a jet in airlines industry, so it has qualified as an order qualifier for become airline availability, convenience, and speed. But to be an order winner, it needs to have value for money, dependability, and reliability. And also for universities, there are so many universities in Sri Lanka. Examples, Peradeniya, Chapura, Mortar, and then there are a range of courses, reputation, accessibility. But to become an order winner, there need to be reputation, accessibility, cost. Even if you take a high EZ score, from, let's say from medicine sector, people consider that Colombo is the best. Colombo medicine faculty is the best because of the high EZ score. But if there's a person who is in Kandy, that person may choose Peradeniya because of the accessibility. Then that would become an order winner for the Peradeniya University. And here, this is a top-down and bottom-up perspective of strategy. Give me a second. Okay. Here, what is corporate? There are 3 stages in here: corporate strategy, business strategy, and then finally operation strategy. After discussing this diagram and this, we'll get back to the definition of operation strategy and you'll understand what the operation strategy is. Here, corporate strategy is the overall business strategy. That may be, if we take a group as Yamaha, what's the share price of Yamaha? Or maybe DSI. DSI may have different types of business units, tires, shoes, bicycles, rubber products, rubber mats, and everything. So as a company, what's DSI corporate strategy? What's Yamaha's corporate strategy? Which means group acquisition. We can take group acquisitions, share prices, level of profitability. As a whole company, what is the strategy? That's the long-term plan. And then we can go to business strategy. That's and again, if we take the example of Yamaha as a business, as a corporation, Yamaha, and as the business, the Yamaha can also have several types of businesses such as motorbikes and music. And there are several other businesses from Yamaha. So according to the type of business, we can't sell music units as the same way that we are going to sell the motorbikes. The advertisements and the business strategy and everything is going to change. That's what you call, there's a corporate strategy as a whole business, as a whole company, as a whole corporation, Yamaha Corporation. And then Yamaha Corporation divides into several types of businesses. And for those businesses, there needs to be a separate strategy. And then again, operation strategy. Operation strategy is what are the day-to-day or ongoing operations that we need to do in order to excel in that type of business. Even in music unit, there are types of several operations for pianos and recorders, guitars. Different types of customers are triggered. For example, for recorders, even in Sri Lanka, if there's Western music in grade 6, it's a must to buy a recorder. So the demand for recorders can be high, and that's like low cost, and there's a high demand. But for piano, people don't buy pianos much. So the strategy for selling pianos is different than the strategy for selling recorders. So therefore, the emergent sense of what the strategy should be, operational experience, how our day-to-day sellings and day-to-day operations are going, we'll define the operation strategy. And through this operation strategy, it goes to the business strategy. And as a reconciliation of these all strategies, it needs to define what the Yamaha, as a company, what the Yamaha company is. Here, as we do things in the operation system, in operation system, we begins to understand the strategic significance of these links, and therefore particular strategy can emerge out of what we do. As we do different operation systems in their day-to-day things, here we are doing different things. And when we are doing all these, one strategy, a particular strategy can emerge out of what we do, and then we can specifically focus in that to come up with our business and corporate strategies. Here, operation strategy. In here, operation strategy reconciles the requirements of the market with the capabilities of the operation resources. You need to remember these two. For the operation strategy, the main two factors are market requirements and operation resources. This goes as a cycle with reconciling with all the other strategies. In here, strategic reconciliation, this includes business strategy and corporate strategy. In here, different market strategies place different demand for operations. According to the market strategy we are choosing, that place different demand for operation, which means this cycle in this way. And then operation must help company build strengths that allow to take advantage of opportunities in the marketplace, which means the ROI goes in this side. And as a combination of these two, as a symbiotic relationship, operation strategy must be aligned to corporate strategy. Corporate as a whole, what we are doing in the piano section of the music unit, it need to align with the whole purpose of the company as Yamaha. So when we go back to our definition of operation strategy, now you will understand the decisions which shape the long-term capabilities of the company's operations and their contribution to overall strategy through the ongoing reconciliation of market requirements and operation resources. Which means by combining market requirements and operation resources, we are doing our operation strategy, ongoing reconciliation, and then we can finally achieve our company's long-term capabilities, which means the corporate strategy. And this diagram is the same thing as a more elaboration of this diagram. This side shows the market requirements, and this side shows the operation resources. The market requirements means understanding the markets. To understand the market, we need to understand customer need, market positioning, how are we going to position our market, in which country, which place, and our competitor section. After understanding the market, then we can come up with the required performance, and this side defines the market requirements. And market requirements comprises of performance objectives, as we discussed in the first slide. And in this side, this is the operation resources. This side consists of operation resources. We need to understand resources and processes. What are the resources we have? What are the processes we are doing? That's what we basically do in our assignment in the operation management module. And we have to identify whether they are tangible or intangible resources, software resources or raw material. Then what are our capabilities, what are our factory capabilities, and what is our process that is going in the factory. And then we can make our strategic decisions, and then operation resources will define the operation strategy decision areas. According to the operation resources we have, it defines the operation strategy decision areas. And as I told, by the relationship between these two, operation resources and market requirements, that will define the operation strategy. That's what is telling by that. Operation strategy is the strategic reconciliation of market requirements with operation resources. These two are must remembers. And when we are managing the change, next 3 slides are based on managing change. Why do we need change? Can we sell the same product throughout the product lifetime, as I mentioned before? Can we sell iPhone 13 for the rest of the years? No. There need to be changes. Can we sell the same type of car for like 20 to 30 years? We can't. There need to be change. The reasons for change are technological advancement, the technology. If we take a phone 20 years ago, maybe let's take 10 years ago, the camera quality is not that much, there's no much quality in the camera, but as the time passes, the technology advances. Then we need to change the products according to that. Then market shifts, changing customer preferences, evolving industry trends, shifting demand patterns. Before 15 years, the customers, which are even our parents, when they were buying a phone, what they considered was making a call. But now the customers' preferences has changed. When we are buying a phone, what we check may be different. We may check, is this good with internet connection? Does this have 4G connection or something like that? Will this help us with doing our studies, going to the internet and maybe taking photos? That depends. Changing customer preferences, market shifts, and cost reduction. Streamline operation, optimizing process, and implementing cost savers machine. Before 2000, in 19, like before 2000, if we were to buy a computer, that would cost so much. The size is big and it would cost so much. But now, I'm not saying it's cheap, but comparatively to the past ages, now it's a lot cheaper. The price of a computer, they have in those before, like in these old years, the computers were like really big. It's hard. You can't even lift a computer. So the size is big, the cost was high, but now the cost has reduced over the time and it's easy to use. And the quality improvement. Almost in everything we are using today, the quality has improved, and this quality will improve further in the future. And compliance. The changes in regulation, industry standards, or environment policies, like 50 to 40 years ago, there were no much policy changes about environmental impact. But now, most of the companies are adopting a policy called sustainability. That's what we call changes in regulation, industry standards, environment policies. Now they are complying with sustainable development. And then the growth and expansion, scale operations. If we take DSI as a factory, it started as a small business in a small place, but now they are a big industry that they are exporting to over 18 plus countries. They have acquired different types of industries, rubber, bicycles. There are different types of industry that we don't even know, like 15 plus types of industries. So the scale of the operation changes with time. And how are we going to implement this change? We change the behavior and skills of workers, change the processes, structures. We need to change everything from the scratch. And this changing the culture of an organization, changing the technology use, changing the product of service. We need to change many things. For this, there's a model. For this, there's a model called Levine's model. In this Levine model, he's defining 3 steps: unfreeze, change, and freeze. You can take, get an ice cube as the example, as according to Levine's model. There's ice cube with a square shape, and we are going to unfreeze it. Then it will melt. The ice cube will melt, and we are going to change the shape. Let's say we are going to put this melted ice cube into a different shaped, let's say a triangle shaped mold. Then we are going to change. Then we are pouring this melted ice cube into a triangle shaped mold, and then we are going to refreeze this. Then what we get is a triangle shaped ice cube. First we had a square shaped ice cube, then we melted it, then we changed the shape of the ice cube, then we refreezed it to a triangle shaped ice cube. That is the basic principle behind this Levine's model. Unfreeze means determine what changes what need to change. Then we ensure strong leadership support. We need to get leadership. We need to get expertise. Create the need for change. Manage and understand the debates and concerns. If we are used to some system, we need to unfreeze the current system. We need to get necessary leaders and then explain why we are going to change this, why we are to the team, why we are going to change the process structure, why are we going to change the culture. We need to explain that, and we need to determine which is necessary going to be the change necessarily, and then the change. When we are changing the systems, when we are changing the process structure, product, technology, we need to communicate with them often. We need to have the continuous assessment of them, and we need to avoid rumors and empower actions, involve people in process. We need to engage them. And then freeze. After we implement the change, if we don't freeze the change, then there's a possibility to go back to the previous stage. If we melted the ice cube and put in the triangle shape, it doesn't make the freeze triangle shape. We need to freeze that. So we need to anchor the changes into culture. We need to embed the changes into the employees and develop ways to sustain the change. Provide support and training. We need to provide continuous support and training, and then celebrate success. When we achieve small things, we need to celebrate, then give them bonuses, and we need to continue this change. That's what we called freeze. And that's how we are going to implement when we are going to implement some change. But it's not always easy. Always change comes with challenges because of reasons such as resistance to change. Some people don't like to change. They like the way the things used to be. Even in Sri Lanka, you can take this as the challenges in Sri Lanka. Why Sri Lanka can't change? Because some people are resistant to change, that they are used to all those bad things. And the lack of leadership support. There might not be good leaders who can lead the change. Even in the government, even though people in Sri Lanka need the change, not everyone in the government is supportive of this change. Lack of leadership and lack of clear objective. What is the ideal change that we need to have? If we don't have a clear objective, now everyone is shouting and telling that we need a change. What is this change? That's what you call the clear objective, what this change need to be. And inadequate communication. We need to communicate what need to be changed. And this communication must not be in the change process. It needs to continue. Even in the refreezing process, you need to continue. We are in this stage. Yes, we have done this and this and this. This needs to be continued in the future. And we need to have a proper communication. And lack of employee engagement even. In fact, for this example, even we can take Sri Lanka. If there are policies like don't litter in places, if there are rules, but if the people are not supporting the rules, then the change is not going to happen. Just shouting that we need change will not change anything. Everyone need to engage. Every person, every individual, every human in Sri Lanka need to engage and stop these things. And They need to do their part. Even government officers, the employees need to engage when they are asking for a change from the higher rankers. They need to do their part. And lack of resources. Even again, we can take as Sri Lanka as a country, we may not have enough financial support to have the change. People may ask for high salaries, but as a country, if we don't have the enough resources, then that can be a challenge. And change fatigue. People if the change is often, if in a company, that there are continuous changes, like the system today is not that you are using the system today, that you are getting used to system, and then next month they are changing the system. Okay, let's go ahead with the change. But if the system is keep changing over like twice a week and every week, then it will make the employees exhausted. The change need to correctly plan and go accordingly, and if not, it will make change fatigue. The employees will get exhausted. And the lack of accountability. We can again take Sri Lanka. Lack of accountability. There's no specific person that if he or she is the person who is accountable for this change. Now, as a country, president is not accountable for every change that is not going to Sri Lanka. Every citizen needs to have an accountability. So, as in an organization, everyone needs to be accountable of their action, and of course, there needs to be a leader, a manager, who is accountable of employees, and then that goes as for the director level. And those are the challenges when we are managing change. And that's it for this lecture. Thank you.